start off with Rich Follett, who is a teacher of theater arts and mythology at Skyline High School. He is a poet and an actor and an organizer, and he is a musician as well. So he's going to play a song and then read a poem.
All right.
I wrote this song as a young man. Yes, they had guitars back then. It's my first, and I think still my best attempt to explain what my life has been for in the bigger picture. It's called Peace Hymn. If my life's dream could be set free and written in a song, the melody would surely be a simple one and strong. One joyous strain would fill the air, the echo ne'er to cease, and every breeze would gently bear the sweet refrain of peace. If all the songs that I have sung were drawn into a breath, and that one fleeting spark of life was all that I had left, one word of prayer would part my lips at the moment of release. My spirit as it homeward flew would lift a cry for peace. My life is but a single page in a never-ending book, and I leave a dream to mark my place for all who yet may look. For proud or humble, rich or poor, the greatest and the least, when my work is done in every town, will here be written. For proud or humble, rich or poor, the greatest and the least, when my work is done in every tongue, will here be written. So much went on that exposed all of our human frailties so blatantly in this last electoral cycle on every side of the equation that I felt compelled to speak, which is a whole new thing, because I'm the type who writes poems about the beauty of a cherry blossom drifting gently to earth, hence my lack of having ever been discovered. But I finally felt compelled to speak out in this very brief rumination, this poetic rumination, a cautionary tale, I suppose. It's called Rack, with a W. Rack. Behold, truth is fluid, reason goes begging, hope is poverty, and fortune follows the imbecile. Forsooth, pundits are lepers, enmity blooms, ignorance is airborne, and opportunity courts privilege. Beware. When fear drives decisions, democracy dies, dreams are defiled, and bedlam ensues. I'll probably lose my job and my life will crumble to dust. But here we go. It's called Hate Is. Hate is not in me. Hate is not around me. Hate is over me. Hate is over us all, and we will never know a world without hate until we rise above that which holds us down. Speak your truth, speak your beauty, feel the lightness of being that comes only from love. Let love lift your spirit, let love lift your voice. Join that voice with others, join with others and speak your love. Rise up, keep rising. We must rise up. We must speak our truth. We must speak our love and rise up together until at last hate is beneath us.
Well, my name is Gladys Nate. I am Puerto Rican, which means that I'm a U.S. citizen by birth. But it was not until I moved to Florida that I figured out that I was Hispanic. In Puerto Rico, we don't label people. If a person is from Cuba, he's a Cuban. People move to the United States to look for a better future, usually called the American dream. But I didn't. I was working for the largest law firm on the island and had my country house with a pool and some luxuries. In 2005, my ex-husband closed his 2 companies due to the economic crisis, and he decided to work with his cousin in Florida. After 6 months, he asked me to move, and of course, as a good wife, I did. I sold my house, quit my job, and started a new life with my kids and now ex-husband. Yes, it is very ironic that after I sacrificed everything I had, I got divorced. In 2006, my nightmare started. I applied for jobs in all the big law firms in Florida, and nobody wants to hire me because I didn't have Florida experience. So I took a paralegal course to get more familiar with Florida law, but that didn't work. I was requested to show the green card so many times that I just laughed. I went from being the legal assistant to 2 priority partners of the largest firm in Puerto Rico to being a floater, which means that you cover someone's desk. But I needed to work. After 8 months of working in Florida, the law firm closed 2 of their offices. And since I was new, they let me go. So again, I was unemployed, and the only job I found was as an agent for Spirit Airlines, making only $9 an hour. I was very frustrated. My dad came to live with me for 4 months, and he was practically paying all my bills until he died from cancer. I was devastated, and I went back to Puerto Rico, where I worked in the same law firm for 4 months. However, my ex was in Florida with the kids, so he was not working for me. I decided to come back, but I needed a decent job. My aunt, who lived in Fort Royal, suggested that I move here since I could either find a job in DC or Virginia. That's when I started applying for a government job. I was lucky that my last name is American, Sneed. And I was called for many interviews. But when I opened my mouth and I started talking, my Hispanic accent was there. Start as a GS9. So I accepted the offer and proved that I was an outstanding government employee. In the next year, I was promoted to GS8 and on and on. As of today, after 7 years with the government, I am a GS12, but it was not easy. I was not authorized to speak in Spanish with the housekeeper in the previous agency. In addition, I was not able to talk or have lunch with anybody who speaks Spanish. In 2010, I transferred to another agency, but things did not change. If others people is Hispanic speaking in Spanish, but if somebody is speaking in French, that's fine. Even though I really don't talk about politics, the fact that the Republicans won this election has affected everybody's life. On the day after the election, the sign of our Hispanic church was destroyed. And unfortunately, Hispanic live with fear and are afraid. I'm blessed that I moved to Fort Royal, where only one neighbor has discriminated against me. The rest of people in town has treated me right and with respect. And even though I have my accent, I live with my kids, Gabby and Pedro. By the way, they don't speak Spanish. It's so sad. In my own house, and I can say that I love this town and it feels like home. I am Hispanic and I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I can speak Spanish and English. Today, I teach English to the Hispanic community to help them to achieve their American dream. Thank you.
And they create chapbooks, and I'm sure he can tell you more about that. Steve Allen May.
This is true.
Yes.
Some people would like us not to believe this, but this is true. And everyone in this room came from somewhere else, except these people who are here. I am Stephen Allen May, and as well as running Plan B Press, I have gotten myself involved with these signs. And if you,
Beautiful.
I have two available signs if you'd like to have one of these. And don't think your house will get torched in this county. for having-
I have a brick house.
Talk to me afterwards. And Heather's right. In fact, the reason I know Heather and her husband is because Jose is in this, which is Full Moon on K Street, which was published by Plan B Press back in 2010. Very well done. I worked with Kim Roberts, who edited it. And she told me at the time that it's a great collection, but I'm from Philly, so I didn't know any of these people until I heard them all read it, and then it was like, okay, I'm going to read topical material, and that's why I'm here, because on April 28th in my neck of the woods, I put together a poetry reading called Poets of Resistance, and one of the poets is Sarah Browning of Split This Rock, so it's a nice tie-in. I'm giving up one of my 4 poems so that I can read, so I could do that little bit of promotion. I've lived through the increasing polarization of the United States of America, and at the same time, I've been very interested in the period between the wars from the 20th century, not the one that's coming in the 21st. And I wrote this after reading a book by the guy who wrote All Quiet on the Western Front. He wrote additional books, and one of those inspired this. It's called Strong as a Shadow. I drifted through the anonymous city. I passed through rains of words, noise, laughter, and wails, strange marionettes playing unknown languages like canned music, dead friends behind barbed wire fences, Europe after 1933, after 2001, what difference does it make? Bargain merchants, cash revenge, streets littered with broken dreams, empty promises, bits of paper swept off Wall Street floors. Nothing was missing, her naked body, faint warmth of sheer passion, plume of smoke. Children scribble on the page, making playful, such serious text. Unfortunately, I can only make out the pictures, watercolors, prints by the masters, left nothing to chance or randomness. No, these museum days have been counterfeit, held for trial, returned to the rightful owners, their makers. There now, have some tea, relax, black bread with butter, the real thing. Forget all these troubled times for a minute. What can you do? You're just an artist. Yes, I agree. I can do that. And that Plan B Press is coming out with. It's written by a Japanese American who lived outside of, because his family came to Utah before Pearl Harbor, so they were not put in the camp because they weren't living on the West Coast. This is the way the United States works still. And we're getting ready for another registration in the United States of certain religious people. This is called ISIS, which is the Japanese who immigrated to the United States after the Oriental Exclusion Proclamation of 1907 and were not legally eligible to become American citizens. This poem is called August 1945, Japan Surrenders. The author's name is Robert Terashima, and he lives in Utah. 3 days shut up in your room, too furious, they say, to eat, let alone get out of bed. The feds were right, Grandpa, about icy like you, silent as others celebrate. Thanks, I'm Stephen Allen.
I just think. Thank you for the confidence.
Oh, geez.
A while back, I got to thinking to myself, who am I? And an idea came to me called my voice. So that's what I want to perform for you tonight is my voice. I can hear it. Can you hear that? People tell me it's my voice, but I don't believe it. I don't have my own voice. I never have, and I'm not sure if I ever will. Allow me to explain. When I was a young child, my voice was my mother's. Everybody can imagine this. You stand above, or you stand below. You're looking up at your mother, and your mother's saying, "Come on, you can do it." Say, "Mama." "Dada." No, "Mama." "Dada." You're never going to say mama. Mama, mama. Mama's so happy she taught you how to say mama. So that's your voice. That was my voice at that time, was mama. When I was 9 years old, my voice was my church. I grew up in a Southern Baptist church. My grandfather was a deacon, and I looked up to him as a hero. So I had to be just like him. So at 9 years old, not understanding what I was doing, the preacher called for everybody to come, anybody that wanted to be saved and be baptized, to come up front, and you will be saved and you will have a place in the kingdom of Christ. So I went. And for the next few years, my voice was my church. Everything that came out of my mouth was about my church. It wasn't about me. As a teenager, guess what? I found my voice. It wasn't a good one. I remember going to Kmart one day, and I walked up to the door. My mom was walking behind me, and I opened up the door and just kept on walking. I didn't hold the door. And my mother walks up to me and come up behind me, and she says, "Don't you know you're supposed to hold the door for women?" And in my infinite wisdom, I looked at her and I said, "Don't you know women fought for equal rights and you can hold your own damn door?" It took a long time to get my mouth from here back over to here. And I don't care if there's a woman 2 miles away on the other end of the parking lot, I will hold that door until her and every woman in the entire country walks through it. And I will never disrespect my mother like that again. In my late teens and my early 20s, I became Airman Speakman. The U.S. government became my voice. You will do exactly what I say, when I say it, how I say it. If I tell you to jump, you just jump. Don't even ask how high. For 5 years, I had no voice whatsoever, except what the U.S. government told me to do. In that time frame, I got married.
Yeah. I wear the pants in this family. And she tells me which pair to wear. Happy wife, happy life, right? But I still hadn't found my voice. In 1985, my grandfather died. I lost a voice. In my early 30s, I lost my religion. I lost a voice. I left the military. I lost a voice. In 2012, my mother died. I lost a voice. So who was I? Where was my voice? I found a little organization called Toastmasters. I joined because I was terrified of public speaking. I got over the public speaking fear and found out people like to hear me talk. I like to hear me talk. So I talked a lot, and I'm still talking. I found a little theater. Or I should say my daughter found a little theater. I just tagged along and the theater adopted me. Didn't have a choice. It's like that stray dog that walks in the yard. It just doesn't go away. It stinks sometimes, and it's really ugly, but you love it anyway. Those two things have allowed me to open up. I'm lucky to work for a company that's a multinational company.
So I'm a huge procrastinator. Get that after my dad. A couple months ago, I came across an artist by the name of Mary Lambert, and she does a lot of singing, and she writes a lot of spoken word and speaks out against specifically women's rights and LGBT rights, which are two things as a woman and a bisexual woman that I can relate to very well. And I found this poem called I Know Girls, or Body Love. And, sorry. When I was in middle school, I got bullied and picked on really badly. I used to be a very closed-minded kid, although my parents don't know that about me. And it wasn't until that happened that I opened up and learned that I need to love and accept everyone in the world. And I need to love myself more than anything. So this is called I Know Girls, or Play Love. I know girls who are trying to fit into the social norm like squeezing into last year's prom dress. I know girls who are low-rise, MAC eyeshadow, and binge drinking. I know girls that wonder if they're a disaster or sexy enough to fit in. I know girls who are fleeing bombs from the mosque of their skin, playing Russian roulette with death. It's never easy to accept that our bodies are fallible and flawed. But when do we draw the line? When the knife hits the skin, isn't it the same thing as purging? Because some women just have more guts than others. The funny thing is, women like us don't shoot. We swallow pills, still hoping to be beautiful at the morgue, still proceeding to put on makeup, still hoping that the mortician finds us fuckable and attractive. We might as well be buried with our shoes and handbags and scarves. Girls, we flirt with death every time we etch a new tally mark into our skin. I know how to split my wrist to reveal a battlefield too, but the time has come to reclaim our bodies. Our bodies deserve so much more than to be war-torn and collateral, offering this fuckdom as a means to say, I only know how to exist when I am wanted. Girls like us are hardly ever wanted, you know? We're used up and sad, and we're perpetually waiting by the phone for someone to pick up and tell us that we did good. We did good. I know I am because I said I am. I know I am because I said I am. I know I am because I said I am. My body is home. My body is home. Try this. Take your hands over your bumpy love body and remember the first time that you touched someone with the sole purpose of knowing all of them. Touch them because the light was pretty on them, your body, and the dust and sunlight danced the way that your heart did. Touch yourself with a purpose. Your body is the most beautiful, royal. Fathers and uncles are not claiming your knife anymore, are not your razor, no, put the sharpness back. Lay your hands flat and feel the surface of scarred skin. I once touched a tree with charred limbs. The tops were still ashy remains, I wonder what it's like to come back from that, because sometimes I feel forest fires erupting from my wrist, and the smoke signals sent out are the most beautiful things that I've ever seen. Love your body the way that your mother loved your baby feet, and brother arm wrapping your shoulders, and remember that this is important. You are worth more than who you fuck. You are worth more than a waistline. You are worth more than beer bottles displayed like drunken artifacts. You are worth more than any naked body could proclaim in the shadows, more than a man's whim or your father's mistake. You are no less valuable than a size 16 than a size 4. You are no less valuable than a 32A than a 36C. Your sexiness is defined by concentric circles within your wood. It is wisdom. You are a goddamn tree stump with leaves sprouting out. Reborn.